Hi guys, my name is Sherelle Lewis, and today I'm here to read a small section from this book called Love Warrior. The reason that I chose this book is because it's a memoir, and memoirs are personally one of my favorite genres to read. This is a story about Glennon Melton, so I hope you guys enjoy. And if you would like to purchase this book, I did find this at the Dollar Tree, but I'm pretty sure that it's also available at Barnes & Noble, or you can find it online. Okay, so let's dive right in. And like I said, I hope you guys enjoy. Part 1. I was loved. If love could prevent pain, I'd never have suffered. My leather baby book with Glennon branded on the front is one long poem written by my father and filled with pictures of my tender-faced mother holding my pink, flaky, braceleted hand. About my birth, my father wrote, "It wasn't really a cry. That first noise, it was a fanfare announcing a marvel that will never be repeated. There are no satin sheets. There are no handmaidens. No emissaries with jewels, no trumpets or announcements. Where are they? Don't they know what has happened here? A princess has arrived. I was loved, just like my daughter is loved. And still, one evening, she sat at the edge of my bed, looked up at me with naked brown eyes and said, 'I'm big, Mama. I'm bigger than the other girls. Why am I different? I want to be small again.' Her words came out jagged, like she hated to break this to me, like she was ashamed to reveal her hidden truth. I took in her tears, pigtails, lip gloss, and the dirt on her hands left over from climbing the banyan tree in our front yard. I scanned my mind for a response worthy of her, but there was nothing to find. Everything I'd learned about bodies, womanhood, power, and pain scattered upon hearing my little girl say the word big. Like big was her curse, her irrefutable condition, her secret, her fall from grace. Like big was something inevitably unfolding inside of her that threatened her contact with the world. My daughter wasn't asking, how will I deal with my body size? My daughter was asking, how will I survive being this particular type of person in this particular type of world? How will I stay small like the world wants me to be? And if I keep growing, how will anyone love me? I looked at my daughter, and I did not say it. I didn't say, honey, you don't look big. She didn't. Neither did I. I never looked big a day in my life, no matter what. But my daughter and I, we paid attention. We knew what the world wanted from us. We knew that we must decide whether to stay small, quiet, and uncomplicated, or allow ourselves to grow as big, loud, and complex as we were made to be. Every girl must decide whether to be true to herself or true to the world. Every girl must decide whether to settle for adoration or fight for love. There on the bed, in her pigtails and pain, my daughter was me. The little girl I once was, the woman I am now, still struggling to answer the questions. How can I be expansive and free and still be loved? Am I going to be a lady, or am I going to be fully human? Do I trust the unfolding and continue to grow? Or do I shut all this down so I fit? I am 4 years old, and my father is a football coach at our neighborhood high school. On game night, my mom bundles me up in a fluffy coat, earmuffs, and mittens. When she's done, she kneels in front of me and admires her work. She's pleased. She moves her hands to my cheeks, pulls my face towards hers, and kisses my nose. Together, we wrap my baby sister Amanda in a puffy white snowsuit. Amanda is our gift, and my mom and I spend all day wrapping and unwrapping her. When she's dressed, we take turns leaning over and kissing her cheeks while she kicks and giggles, her arms jutting straight out from the sides like a starfish. We pile into our van, drive to the high school, and listen to the leaves crunch under our boots during our walk towards the stadium. As we climb the popcorn littered stairs, and the drum marching band fills my chest. The smell of hot dogs fills my lungs, and the roar of the crowd fills my head. The night is thumping chaos, but my midden hand is safe inside my mother's, and she guides me forward. When we reach the entrance, the ticket lady smiles, puts her hands on her hearts, and says, "Aren't you the most precious things?" They wave us in because we're the coach's girls and we don't have to pay. Mom and I smile at the ladies and say thank you, and together we join the crowd under the bright stadium lights. When they see us, the students and parents collectively hush and step aside. A path appears. Quiet reverence is the world's response to my mother's beauty. When people see her, they pause and wait, full of hope, until her eyes rest upon them. And her eyes always do. My mother takes her time with people. Strangers give her their attention, and she returns it. She is a queen who reigns with kindness. This is why people stare. They look because she's lovely, but they stare because she's loved. And I'm always studying my mama, and I am always watching other people watch my mother. She is such a beautiful child, strangers say to my mother daily. But I had to learn that beauty is a responsibility. People expect so much of it, or so it seems. My childhood beauty is apparent in pictures. Golden brown ringlets to my waist, porcelain skin, a smile as wide as the horizon, and bright hazel eyes. When strangers admire me, I practice returning their attention. I understand that beauty is a form of kindness. It is for giving away, and I try to be generous. In an attempt to maintain balance, my parents often remind me that I'm smart. I'm an early reader, and at 4, I converse like an adult. But I soon realized that smart is more complicated than beautiful. Strangers come close and pat my curls, but when I speak to them with confidence and clarity, their eyes widen and they pull back. They are drawn in by my smile, but repelled by my boldness. They recover quickly by laughing, but pulling away is done. I felt it already. They wanted to adore me, and I complicated things by inserting myself into their experience of me. I began to understand that beauty warms people and smart cools people. I also understand that being loved for beauty is a tenacious situation for a girl. Years later, when I become less beautiful, when I no longer have regal ringlets to pat or perfect skin to admire, when I'm no longer small and simple and precious, I wonder how I'll ever be worthy of offering or receiving love. Losing my beauty will feel like a fall from grace, rendering me useless. It will be as if I have not kept my end of the deal and the whole world is disappointed in me. Without beauty, what do I have left to warm people with? But for now, the 3 of us are still perfect. We snuggle into the stands and cheer for our team together. And when the game is over, I run onto the field because my dad is looking for me. He's always looking for me. I run through the players' padded legs toward my father, and he lifts me above his head. His players step aside to give us room. We spin into the stadium lights, and the crowd blend together, and the whole world is blur. All that's clear is my dad below me. He puts me down, and while I study myself, I see that my mom and sister have made their way to us. As she approaches, my mom shines all her brilliance at my dad. I mean, man, she is brighter and more powerful than all the stadium lights combined. My dad hugs her with both arms and then takes our starfish baby and kisses her on the cheek. The 4 of us are an island. This celebration happens after every game, whether we've won or lost. We are my dad's victory. We turn and process out through the crowd, no longer an island, but now a parade. And people smile and wave, and the 4 of us hold hands and sing the high school's fight song all the way to the van. I'm 10 years old and trying to disappear into the corner of the velour couch in my grandmother's living room. My cousins chase each other from room to room, a tornado of squills and skin. It's summer, and most of them are wearing bathing suits, as if it's easy. Their bodies are light and wispy, and they seem to float and flit together in a unit, like a school of fish. They play together, but playing requires a lot of self-consciousness, and togetherness requires a lot of sense of belonging. I have neither, so I can't join them. I am not a fish. I am heavy and solitary and separate, like a whale. This is why I stay sunken into the couch and watch. As I clutch my now empty bowl of potato chips and lick the salt off my fingers, an aunt passes by and notices me. She looks from me to my cousins and says, "Why don't you play, Glennon?" She's noticed that I don't belong. I feel ashamed. "I'm just watching," I say. She smiles and with some kind of amusement says, "I like your eyeshadow." My hand goes to my face as I remember the purple eyeshadow my cousin Karen applied this morning. On the car ride from our Virginia home to Ohio, excitement swelled in my chest because this would be the year I'd return a different girl. During this trip, Karen would make me over, change me into someone who looked like her, smelled like her, flirted like her. She would make me beautiful again. So that morning, I sat on Karen's bathroom floor, surrounded by curling irons and makeup, waiting to be transformed. And when she finished, she held up a mirror and I tried to smile while my heart sank. My eyelids were smeared with purple and my cheeks were pink, but I just looked like me, wearing my cousin's makeup. And that is why my aunt looks amused instead of impressed. I smile and say, "I was just about to wash it off." I put my bowl down and pull myself off of the couch. I climb my grandmother's stairs, walk into the bathroom, and lock the door behind me. I decide to take a bath because the bathtub is my hiding space. I start the water and downstairs voices fade. When the tub fills, I peel off my clothes, climb in, and float there for a while. Then I close my eyes and sink beneath the surface. I open my eyes to my underneath world. So quiet, so far away, so safe. My hair swirls around my shoulders and I reach up to touch it. It feels like silk, and I imagine I look like a mermaid under there. I come up for air and then back underneath. Eventually the water gets cold, so I let it drain out slowly and watch my body reappear. There it is again. I can never keep myself from reemerging. I start to feel heavier and heavier against the porcelain tub, as if gravity is increasing exponentiality, as if I am becoming sucked toward the center of the earth. The water is only inches deep now, and my thighs are spread out wide and huge, and I wonder, is there any other girl in the world this massive? Has anyone ever felt this heavy? Eventually, I'm pinned to the bottom of the dry tub, naked, exposed, beached. Being underneath never lasts. I pull myself together, dry off, get dressed, and go back downstairs. I stop in the kitchen to refill my bowl of chips before I settle back onto the couch. The television is on, turned to a show about a woman 30 years older than I. She kisses her children goodnight, climbs into bed with her husband, and lies with her eyes open until he falls asleep. Then she climbs out of bed and walks quietly out of the bedroom and into the kitchen. She stops at the counter and picks up a magazine. The camera zooms in on the skeletal blonde cover girl. The woman puts down the magazine and walks to the freezer. She pulls out a carton of ice cream and a large spoon, and she starts eating the ice cream frantically at first, spoonful after spoonful, like she's starving. I have never seen anyone eat like this before. She eats the way that I want to, like an animal. Eventually, the madness on the woman's face is replaced by a faraway look. She keeps eating, but robotically now. I look at her, and with shame and joy, I think, she's just like me. She's going underneath. She finishes the carton, wraps it into a bag, and shoves it into the bottom of the trash. Then she walks into the bathroom, locks the door, leans over the toilet, and vomits all of the ice cream. The process looks painful, but afterward, she sits on the floor and seems relieved. I'm stunned. I think, this is what I've been missing, the relief. This is how to disappear without getting bigger. This is how to make the underneath last. Within a few months, I'm binging and purging several times a day. Every time I sense my unbelonging, my unworthiness, every time my sadness rises, I numb it frantically with food. Then Instead of sadness, I feel fullness, which is as intolerable as sadness. So I purge it all out. And this second emptiness is better because it is an exhausted emptiness. Now I'm too tired, too racked, too weak and worn to feel. I feel nothing but lightheaded and light-bodied. And so bulimia becomes my place I return to again and again to be alone, to go underneath, to not feel so much, to feel it all safely. Bulimia is the world I make for myself since I don't know how to fit into the real world. Bulimia is my safe, deadly hiding space, where the only one who can hurt me is me, where I'm far away and comfortable, where my hunger can be as big as it is, and I can still stay as small as I need to be. So guys, that was just a small snippet into this book called Love Warriors. I hope that you all enjoyed it. And if you would like I said, I gave you guys in the beginning a close look of this, but here's an even better, closer look. Please go pick this book up. I'm so intrigued. This is my first time reading it, but after this, I'm ready to indulge in more. I want to read this. I probably will finish it by tomorrow. So guys, go please pick up this book, Love Warrior. Read it and download it. And I hope you guys enjoyed my small little snippet. Bye.